Hi everybody, Foxy Games here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough. As you can see, I've done my roulettes today. I got to level 54. There's also something special sitting over here on my bars. What's that? It's XIV, so we're going to see that mount soon. You may be wondering why I'm here in Ul'dah right now, standing in front of the retainer vocate. Well, during the Binding Coils of Bahamut, as you probably saw, I got a metric fuck ton of these things. Allagan Aether Stones, High Allagan Aether Stones, and Neo Allagan Aether Stones. These are all crafting materials. I don't do crafting, so I'm going to see if I could sell them. But in order to sell stuff, you need a retainer, and I have yet to get a retainer. So let's do that. Greetings, I take it you have come to see me about a retainer. So we need to hire one. According to our records, you may hire up to 2 retainers. Currently, you have no retainers in your employ. So, let's see. We have quite a few men and women on our list, so I invite you to describe the retainer you desire down to the most minute detail. So, in other words, you get to customize your retainer as soon as it loads. There we go. I kind of want a female Aura because they're pretty as hell. Alright, I haven't customized an Aura before. Let's see. There's the Rayan and there's the Zayla. Ooh, the Zayla are really cool. I think we're going to go with the dark skin. Let's make her short. That's cute. Just like our character creation, we're not going to worry too much about titty. Wow, look at these skin shades. Look at that dark red, like, stereotypical Satan kind of thing going on. Wow, greens and purples and blues. Let's go with this red. Why not? Tail shape. That looks like an alligator tail. Let's go with this, if we're sticking with the whole demon-looking thing. Tail length, always go with the longest possible tail. Hairstyle. I mean, it doesn't matter terribly because, oh my god, twin tails. The only reason I have right now to use a retainer is to sell stuff. Your retainers can also go out on missions and find you crafting gear and stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to get too much into that. I kind of like this, not going to lie. I think we'll stick with that. Let's see, hair color. Okay, we can do mane and a highlight. Let's do something crazy, like pure white and a red streak or something. That doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't even look that red, it looks more orange. Ah, that's good though. Who does she remind me of? Some anime character. I don't know. Let's see. She's kind of a mean-looking face, but I'm not too against that. Wow, that changes their horns too. Well, that's a little disappointing, really, because what if you like a face but not a horn style? Because, like, these horns are okay, but I kind of like those too. That's so... It looks like it'd be so uncomfortable to live like that. But I kind of like this, not gonna lie. It's an interesting horn configuration that you don't typically see in dragony and demony looking people. Eye shape, I kind of really like this, but we're gonna see. Not much difference between those two. Nah, this is good. And her eye color is really nice. Oh, they always have a red outline, don't they? Limbal ring. Oh, cool. So you can choose. That's cool. God, maybe I should have been an Aura. I kind of like that red on red. Wow, that's really neat. Eyebrows. I mean, Not to be lazy or anything, but I kind of really like most of the defaults they gave me. Not a lot of nose choices here for these guys. Mouth, you can hardly see it, but yeah, her mouth looks good. Lip color. Let's make some dark black lipstick. Yeah, that's good. Other features. Oh, you can choose what kind of scale patterns and stuff they've got. I don't know what the hell this is. Skin's probably too dark. Oh, it's makeup. Looks like some scarring on her horns. Or jewelry. Yeah, let's just go full scale. Full scale. Any paint? What's that, the Scion's tattoo? I don't think so. Some of these face paints are really cool. And then you've got this craziness. And that! Oh my god. I think we're gonna go with no face paint. She doesn't really make much noise as a retainer, so we're gonna finish her up. We won't save. Yes, we'll finalize. I can think of several retainers that are exactly as you describe. Oddly enough, they have strikingly different personalities. If you would be so kind as to state a preference, it would be most helpful. Let's make this one serious. She looks kind of serious. Let's see. She's going to greet us like that. Just yes. When dismissed, she will bid farewell as such. Right then. Okay, yeah, sure. It is also customary to give a retainer an appellation of one's own making, a nickname, as it were. We find this deepens the bond between our clients and their retainers. How about Foxy Banks? Yay! And you can summon the retainer using the bell, which we will do right now. I know how retainers work. There she is. Okay, so I'm going to give her a bunch of stuff to sell. Okay, admittedly these things are really not worth a whole lot, but it's better to just get them out of my inventory because they were taking up a metric fuck ton of space. So, we're going to move on with our next quest, as it were. Oh yeah, now that we're back in Mor Dhona, it's Ixion. Wow, he is big chungus. Holy shit, Ixion, you are huge. Ah, he's so majestic. So elegant, so completely huge compared to my chocobo. My god, you are one massive chungus. But you know what? That's okay. Oh right, I almost forgot we were actually doing here. So we're not going on the main story quest. Not yet. We have something else to take care of that is very important. And I am of course referring to the legacy of Allag. Do I know you? Ah, unless I am very much mistaken, you are the famed adventurer who bested the Allagan Empire's general, are you not? The great Foxy Games herself. Amazing, and more than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. I but recently received a word of a truly unique opportunity, you see. An opportunity the likes of which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. The reward? Not less than the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk? A single misstep could cost you your life. But what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A woman with absolute confidence in her own abilities stands to profit handsomely from this venture. No, I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at St. Coinoc's Find. Recognize that name? It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels, awaiting the arrival of a champion bold enough to march across the threshold. In case you've forgotten from our last foray... Oh my god, there's so many fucking quests. Rambros and the St. Koinok, whatever, they were mentioned in the Bahamut quests. They were the ones who were helping us figure stuff out about the Shards of Dalamud. Ixion, you're just as awesome as I remember. Final Fantasy X, it had its problems, to say the least. Mainly in its main character. But, oh, the summons in 10 were just beautiful. Ixion was just one of many beautiful summons. Alright, let's go and talk to Rambros. This is, of course, another kind of a long quest line for the Crystal Tower raid. And as I believe I've mentioned before, this is incredibly relevant to the story moving forward. You actually won't be able to progress after the 11th without doing this quest line. Why, if it isn't Foxy Games herself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say? By a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Jesus. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of the project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could very well find herself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey to Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? Well, of course I do. I rather thought you would say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now the first, Foxy, I thought it was you. Hey, Sid. What brings you to St. Koinok's? Don't tell me. The Alliance has sent you on another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe, yes? No? I see you two are already acquainted. That is well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero, caught wind of our forthcoming expedition and has kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? Glad to have you aboard, Foxy. You don't have the faintest idea what you volunteered for, do you? Very well, let us begin at the beginning. The Sons of St. Koinok are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allagan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. Ah, but I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped to contribute much on the subject of Allagan archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the Ultima weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nerotul Skeva simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Allagan relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. In the most violent manner, yes. Now, to the core of the matter. Here in Mor Dhona there stands an entire Allagan structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon and the Lesser Moon Dalamud before it, it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and, above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground. But, like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses. We cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen. The 8 sentinels, as the sons are wont to call them, is the first barrier that we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues or the front door is forever beyond our reach. My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we were to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, Foxy, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. There is much and more to be done before we can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Lovely, but we have no time to waste, so let's talk. Our first objective is to reach the entrance to the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each one utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analyses, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Mayhaps I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the beast tribe's strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray make for La Nocia, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamoro mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the beastmen's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave to your discretion. But whatever you do, please be careful. I am the very soul of caution, Rambrose. Don't you worry. Before we leave, though, there is something I want to go and pick up. You know, Ixion's run cycle is pretty derpy. Like, his legs don't seem long enough for such a huge horse. I mean, I dumped all the tomestones that I had into this fucking thing. I'm gonna use it. Where the fuck are all of them? I didn't lose connection, did I? Am I pissed? There they are. Alright, the final piece of Ironworks armor. And it looks like I've got a big tin can on my head. I kind of look like Bastion from Overwatch. But the cool thing about this one is you can adjust the visor. So it just kind of pops up. And then you can see my face again. It's nowhere near as cool as some of the others. But we're going to keep the visor down. Because I like it like that. You remember all that shit that's been said about the Lemenzens liberating, in heavy quotes, more and more stuff from the kobolds? Well, we're not going to help by adding to that. Come on out. Just face your death like, you know, like a man. Even though you're not a man, you're a mouse. Rat thing. I mean, kobolds are fucking ugly in this game, but doesn't mean they should have to die necessarily. Man, this is like clubbing baby seals at this point. They just can't do shit. And I'm not complaining. That is not a complaint. Because this place, it reminds me of, oh, what the hell even is the place now? Oh my god, it's Dark Helmet. That is a Spaceballs reference if I've ever seen one. This place reminds me of Nazjatar from World of Warcraft, and it just triggers me because Nazjatar was done so fucking poorly when it should have been one of the best zones in the goddamn game. Alright, let's wait here. Alright, Fishback, let's do it. Well, that didn't take much effort. Back to Mor Dhona then. You know, I'm kind of at an impasse here because, as I have mentioned before, once I hit level 60, I want to try out Gunbreaker. But all through, what is it even called? All through Heavensward, it's all very, like, night-themed and swords and shields and stuff. And there's a particular item that you get that would be perfect for a paladin. And you get it no matter what job you currently are, but it can only be used by paladins. But, I don't know. I guess it depends on how much I like Gunbreaker. Because I want to kind of try and stay in character, quote-unquote, but at the same time, I fucking love the idea of Gunbreaker. So let's see what happens. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastmen's strongholds? Well, I killed them and took their stuff. So these are the famed flawless crystals of the Beast Tribes. I have seen countless specimens from I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You've done well, Foxy. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zaharak, the war camp of the Amalja in Thanalan, the latter in Natalan, the roost of the Ixal in the hills of Kurthus. You can expect them to be as closely guarded as the first two. You mean not at all? If not more so. Still, I look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. Okay, this guy's name is Your Mom. That's nice. Alright, Amalja. Give up the crystal or give up the ghost? Oh, you're just gonna stand there, are you? So be it then. Well, he went down like a bitch. Camp Dragonhead, here we come. I shall now proceed to ignore all of these birds. Alright, so it's right here. If these guys decide that they want to die... Only one has chosen death. Well, technically two. After this one shows up. Give me the crystal. Now he's deaded. Back to Mor Dhona. Again. And yes, there are a whole bunch of quests here, some of which I will pick up. Most of them are dungeon unlocks. Rambros. Foxy, it is good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals from the Beastmen? Well, I murdered them and I took their stuff. Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we are now ready to proceed to the next stage of our preparations. I hope I did not give the impression that we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there is another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals you acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in their present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower's defenses, they must needs be cut and polished. A process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Procuring them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we will be requiring your services once again. Man, fuck you. What is this? Dark matter. Ooh. It's crafting materials, I think. Oh no, it repairs stuff. Whatever. If the flawless crystals you procured for us are to retain their elemental purity during the shaping process, a very specific set of abrasive substances will be required. Well, I say substances, but one might just as well call them one substance, namely aether sand, which has 4 elementally aspected varieties. Well, alas, aether sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it is not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones it is used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmiths Guild in Ul'dah seemed the likeliest place to purchase the quantity we require. When I contacted the Guildmaster, however, I was informed that no aether sand was currently available. Though I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in, I have yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention at this point that I placed the order some time before you procured the crystals. I am well aware that acquiring aether sand is no small feat, of course, and I am not an impatient man, but I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk that the tower's secrets may fall into the hands of other, less savory parties. That is why I wish to entrust you with the payment for our purchase, and send you to speak directly with the Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished personage will spur the guild into action. In any event, it is my hope that when we next meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of aether sand we require. So in other words, more errands. Lovely. I sure enjoy running all around Eorzea looking for shit. Alrighty, Lady Serendipity. Let's have a chat. Ah, Mistress Games, welcome, welcome. What brings you here, if I may ask? Money. You're here on behalf of the Sons of St. Koinok? What fortunate timing. I was just about to contact Master Rambrose with the news that we finally managed to acquire a quantity of fire-aspected aether sand. I'm afraid it may be some time before we can supply the other 3 varieties, but you are welcome to settle accounts for that which we have now. Pray speak with Jemima over the... I do beg your pardon. It seems she's assisting another customer. Come on, there must be something you can do. Without that sand, we'll have to rethink our whole design. I sympathize with your plight, sir, but as I explained, the aether sand in question is already spoken for. If you'd like to reserve the next shipment, then I would be happy to accept the funds you've offered as partial payment. Partial? Are you saying it's not enough? I'm already stretching our research budget as it is. I suppose a man can do without a midday meal for a year or 2. Oof, Biggs. Foxy, it's been too long. What brings you here, then? Got your eye on something expensive, have you? Well now, that is quite a money pouch. The sound of so many gil clinking together is strangely satisfying, is it not? Calming and yet invigorating at the same time. Oh no, you're here for that blooming aether sand, aren't you? Well, I can't deny the Allagan civilization's a subject worth researching. The chief said he was looking into something big, but we never thought to ask him what. Wedge and I have been too busy tinkering with a new airship design to think of much else, see? Well, I say tinkering. Wrestling would be more like it. Still, after much wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth, we've managed to put together a prototype crystal-powered propulsion system. We got the idea for it when we heard how you lot used a corrupted crystal on board the Enterprise, as a matter of fact. Anyway, to cut a long story short, our design calls for all 4 varieties of aether sand. And that's why I can't just relinquish my claim on this batch here, even for you, lass. How are we meant to usher in a brave new age of technological innovation, if not by technologically innovating, eh? While I hesitate to interrupt such an impassioned speech, duty compels me to point out that this lady is a representative of the organization that reserved the aether sand in question, to mention nothing of the fact that her purse is considerably larger than yours. Oh, it's like that, is it? Alright, this batch is yours, I'll let you have it. But if you're going to take my sand, it's only fair that you grant me a role in this project of yours. I'll take that as a yes. It's not every day you get a chance to experiment with the wonders of the ancients. With any luck, they'll inspire me to think up another technological innovation or 2. Oh hey, some of the stuff that I put on the market is selling for like 300 gil each. Now then, from what you've told me, I'm guessing you'll be needing the other 3 varieties of elementally aspected aether sand as well, right? Then rather than sitting on your rump waiting for a shipment that may never come, I reckon your time would be better spent looking for the stuff yourself. And it just so happens I know of a good place to start. Then why didn't you go out there? There is said to be a peddler in northern Thanalan who, very occasionally, handles the earth-aspected variety of aether sand. Wedge is in the process of confirming the rumor as we speak. I know what you're thinking. When did my timid little friend decide he didn't need me to hold his hand anymore? The answer being, just the other day. Seems he's been inspired by a certain adventurer's heroic example. I thought he was joking when he volunteered to go to Thanalan without me. I just hope he manages to stay out of trouble. Head out to Blue Fog, and you should find him poking around with his new bodyguard. Oh, did I not mention her? Wedge thought it might be wise to hire an adventurer to accompany him, just in case your heroic example turned out to be less inspiring than he first thought. Oh god, look at this person's fucking hair. He is just pure yellow afro. He looks like a sponge. I'm sorry, Emblem Dragon Lice. That's a terrible name and you have terrible hair. But I'm sure you're fucking awesome. Oh my god, he even has a goatee. Well, why not just complete the douchebag look? Uh-oh. What happened? Save your greetings. If you're looking for a hired blade, then you'll have to look elsewhere. After the day I've had, the only company I crave is the squat, silent type. The type that has a handle and holds no less than a pint of ale. You wish to hear my tale? I warn you, 'tis no stirring epic, but as you asked, my employer, a Lalafellan lad, wished to pay a visit to a peddler who deals in some manner of special sand. I forget what it was called, but 'tis apparently worth a small fortune. Anyway, when we arrived, the man claimed his stock had been stolen by bandits. Determined not to return empty-handed, we crept into the bandit stronghold and set about locating the stolen goods. Long story short, alarms were raised, rogues were awoken, and we fled in a blind panic. I was separated from my employer in the confusion, and I've not seen him since. Oh, a friend of yours, is he? Then you'd best be prepared for the worst. 'Tis just possible the poor sod may yet be lost in the old Amagina mithril mine, but I fear the bandits will have caught up with him by now. Well, you're some fucking adventurer. You left your employer behind? Oh well. Let's go find Wedge. Poor Wedge can't catch a break. He can't win Tataru's heart, and he can't hire a decent adventurer. I mean, he could have hired me. Not that he could have afforded me, mind you, but he could have attempted it. What the hell are these lunatic followers? Are these cultists? They don't seem like bandits to me. Oh, fuck you, bomb. Oh, good. More. Oh, Wedge, what have you gotten yourself into? How could I be so stupid, sneaking into a bandit's lair? It's just not the sort of thing I do. And now I'm gonna die for it. No, I just need to calm down. I can do this. I can be brave. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to walk out of here. Here we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I promise I'll even ever come back. Hi, Wedge. Foxy, is it really you? But how did you find me? Can you smell fear? Actually, ignore that smell. I expect you're wondering why I'm here. Well, I was just in the process of retrieving some stolen aether sand, which Biggs and I need for our research as it happens. It was, I concede, perhaps a touch foolish and very nearly fatal, but I did succeed in snatching the stuff before my bodyguard ran away and several dozen bandits came piling after me with knives and axes and what looked very much like a plank with a rusty nail in it. Oh, God. Anyway, The important thing is that the stolen aether sand is right here in my... Oh, oh dear. It must have fallen out while I was, taking evasive maneuvers. It seems I won't be leaving this infernal place for a while yet. You'll find the aether stand? Oh, thank the gods, you're a true friend, Foxy. I hope the search doesn't prove too troublesome. The bandits don't seem to care much for visitors. These aren't bandits, they're like cultists. Jesus, Wedge. What the fuck? Are these more of those lambs of Dalamud? Like from Tamtara? Either way, they go down like little bitches. Why does it take so hecking long to pick it up? Really? Well, this guy's gonna die, and so is this bomb. Foxy, have you had any luck locating the aether sand? It was literally like 100 feet away, not even. Yes, that's it. I must return to the workshop at once and tell Biggs the wonderful news. What, you're also on a mission to collect aether sand? And you're working with the chief? A treasure trove of Allagan knowledge, you say? I see. Then you should really be the one to have this. Biggs and I are far from exhausting all possible avenues of airship innovation, but it sounds as if your problem can't be solved by any other means. This expedition of yours sounds jolly interesting, I must say. I'm half inclined to join you. In fact, I think I will. Any venture worth the chief's time must be worth a look. Right, I'm more than ready to leave this awful place behind. And you should return to Mor Dhona with that aether sand before there are any more, little mishaps. Be sure to keep a close eye on your pockets, Foxy. Yep. Alright, back to Mor Dhona then. We're back. Ah, Foxy, you've returned. I take it from your presence that you were successful in procuring us some aether sand. Tell me, which variety did you find? 2, actually. I see. 2 varieties. Well, that is 2 more than could be reasonably expected, and 2 less than I'd hoped you would say. Forgive my flippancy. You have done well, truly. If all goes to plan, we need no longer fear death by fire or earth. Master Garland, if you'd be so kind as to prepare the relevant crystals. I shall set to work immediately. Truth be told, I've been looking forward to this. One doesn't encounter materials like these every day. Speaking of which, how in the 7 hells did you find them? Mistake me not, old friend. I know only too well how capable you are, but aether sand isn't something you simply find gathering dust at the back of a merchant's rare gem cabinet. You had help from Biggs and Wedge. Huh. Trust them to design a revolutionary new engine the moment I turn my back. How's a genius meant to rest on his laurels when his employees are so damnably inventive, eh? And now they're determined to join us, are they? Typical. I jest, of course. It will be good to have them around. Still, as a matter of professional pride, let's endeavor to procure the 2 remaining varieties of aether sand before they arrive, shall we? Tell me, Rambrose, have we any information on where the water and wind aspected types may be hiding? Not as of yet, but I have made certain arrangements. We shall soon see if my efforts have borne fruit. Forgive me for observing, but you seem less than enthusiastic about that prospect. If there's a complication, I'd rather we discuss it now than risk jeopardizing the expedition. Mayhap an explanation is in order, but first let us savor the preliminary victory that Foxy has won for our cause, if only for a moment. Ooh, let's see, direct hit rate, critical hit, and determination. I guess determination, why not? Alright, Rambrose, let's keep going. Yes, I must speak of the arrangements I made to acquire the 2 remaining varieties of aether sand. Some days ago, I asked a Charlene acquaintance of mine to travel to Gridania and there gather the necessary materials. Since that time, however, I have heard nary a whisper from him. To be frank, this lack of communication is not entirely uncharacteristic, but I cannot discount the possibility that something ill has befallen the man. Alas, we do not have the time to investigate his fate. As I mentioned before, the more we delay our expedition, the more likely it is the Crystal Tower's secrets will fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, I would entrust you with the same mission I assigned to my friend. Travel to the Black Shroud and seek out Parsimontrate. God damn. The master of the markets in Gridania. If anyone knows where the Aether Sand might be bought, it is he. You know, they really should just call this quest Run All Over Eorzea for stupid reasons. Alright, Parsimontrate, whatever the fuck your name is. Yes? I'm sorry, did you say you wish to purchase Aether Sand? Forgive me, madam, but have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you seek? Why, I have not seen so much as a grain of Aether Sand in these markets for many a long year. I could tell you where one might mine the ore, from which the water-aspected variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would willingly set foot in the place. You seem undeterred. Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? That is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by a particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the Betusk Nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell. Well, now we know where to go. Alright, let's find this stupid pig, kill it, and get this over with. Oh, it's already dead. Interesting. You are too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. You will find no trace of the ore which lay but recently here. Nay, not so much as a speck. Ah, no, you will never spy me from there. For the time being, at least, you will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed mineral you hope to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I have decided to share the location of an alternative source of Aether Sand with you, the Wind Touch variety to be specific. I trust I have your attention. Good. A band of Ixal in the North Shroud keep a quantity of the abrasive for the purposes of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. The Ixali logging grounds in the North Shroud shall be our destination, and that is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. We've got a cheeky motherfucker on our hands. Motherfucking goddamn pigs. This is why I like pork chops, because it means more dead pigs. And also they're delicious. Alright, I killed all the things that I needed to kill. This fate can just do whatever at this point. Anyway, these guys don't want me to take this Aether Sand. I don't want them to live. What? How am I missing? What? Oh, we're both level 50. Oh wait, I'm level synced because of the stupid fate, that's right. I'm level 54. Bitch. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the Aether Sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours. And yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help feeling that the greater prize is mine. The inequity must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Doolahans. This guy's having way too much fun and it's pissing me off. Ah, there it is. Well, he's just giving us the sand, is he? Not what you were expecting. I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into aether sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind. Until I saw you in action, such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history as it is made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. Alright, mysterious benefactors aside, let's go back to Mor Dhona. Oh, Rambros, I have a present for you. What news of your mission? Are we any closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? Right here. You've brought both! I shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. Let's see, X potion, why not? There, that should do the trick. They look like dildos. I don't know why I said that. Excellent work. We now possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. Oh, it was a trifling matter, I assure you. Foxy here is the one you should be thanking. Anyways, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from striding up to the Allagan's front door. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs, Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get a chance to study the wonders of the Allagan Empire, is it? Their technology makes Garlemald's look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged onto the very brink of oblivion in both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief, it's, freedom through technology. Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Allagan Empire could not save their civilization and have damn near doomed ours. Twice. This is why we must explore the Crystal Tower and, if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding wills such as yours that have defined the course of history. So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned me, of course. Surely you've not forgotten about the aether sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Grahatia, one of the students of Baldessian. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Grahatia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome as one of our own. Well, he's a bit of a dick, but sure. So then, our fellowship is complete, and all stand ready to step on to the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah. Noah? That is the name I have chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Koinok, can we? And we must have a memorable appellation if our venture is to leave its mark on the annals of history. I could claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does technically, but my true reason for choosing this name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted Allagan Archmagus. An Archmagus? I like the sound of that. Very well. Now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time that we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Ready! And I'm being too harsh when I call him a dick. He was just playing around. And besides, good old Grahatia is someone who you come to like. At least I did. Esteemed colleagues, the secrets of ancient Allag beckon. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Adventurer, you and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Rambros, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Allagan history, it seems logical that I should lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can but make use of the resources at hand. Assuming all are in agreement, let us proceed forthwith to the large lopsided gate found to the southeast. Indeed. How the fuck do you get there? But yeah, Grahatia is he's very eccentric, but he's got a good heart. He's kind of like cat husband material, really. Why do they only put 3 of these things when I need to kill 5 of them? That makes me angry. There we go. Now we can go in here without me getting frustrated. And when he says lopsided, he really means lopsided. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you are the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the present. I say, the energy radiating from these statues is palpable. Lucky for us, that is. One might otherwise stroll right past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevent would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 yoms of the tower's inner reaches. No matter how swift they may be. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to craft should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's too dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to say that they work. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. You see the way he jumped in the air? He's so excitable. And one more. Last one is yours, old friend. It seemed only right. You're too kind, Sid. Boom goes the dynamite. Haha, we did it! So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Foxy and a hand-picked party of her adventuring companions enter the tower. What? Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will, but our investigations must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of this place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits us on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Foxy here fits that description better than anyone I know. And it is not as if we shall be idle in her absence. While Foxy and her companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable to this endeavor, Historian Grahatia. Ah, do you ever tire of being right, old man? Okay, I like him. Foxy, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me to at least provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During this initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell and we shall join you post-haste, no matter what Master Garland says. Though we would prefer it if any relics you encounter remained intact, you have leave to do whatever is necessary to secure ingress to the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you, Foxy. Labyrinth of the Ancients, now accessible. Now this is an Alliance raid. It's a bigger raid than we've been accustomed to so far. So we're going to queue up for that right away. Here we are, the first raid of the Crystal Tower. We are in Alliance A. So that means people like this Lilith Swift lady over here and this Midnight Star are going to be keeping me alive today. How lovely. There are 3 alliance. This is way in the way, but wow, these are super in the way. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Let's fix that. That'll do for now. Now, most alliance raids will have the groups separated in some manner. This one, probably not so much, at least not at first. And some of the other tanks have already run ahead to start taking care of some of these enemies. I'm going to take one of these Valifors and ensure it stays facing away from the group. And it looks like there's probably another tank who's sharing enmity with me. Oof, I have a really big disease, apparently. That's making me move very slowly. Get in there! Wow, this is a very long slow. I wonder if it can be pulled off of me. Or cured off of me, I should say. Also, I turned down spell effects, and they're still quite ridiculous. These things also die like crazy. Here we go. We've got some more enemies coming in. Did not mean to hit that button. He really needs to not point them toward the group. They have a huge frontal cone. Well, the poisonous goop is up, which means we can't really go over there. Ah, now it's gone. Next room. This is probably going to go quite fast. People are very used to Crystal Tower. I've never tanked it, so I'm not. I do know that this bone dragon needs to die. Looks like this guy is intent on main tanking, so I'll turn off my tanking ability for the moment. Oh, Heartburn rears its ugly head. Alright, these skeleton soldiers will need to be pulled off and tanked away from one another. Okay, very good. If they are allowed to raise near one another, they will then be too fast to kill. They lose their speed debuff, and if they get close to the boss, they explode. You come here. We'll kill you back here, so you are not a problem. Okay, apparently we're ignoring the mechanics. I mean, if that's the way they want to do it, that's the way we're doing it. Yeah, we kill it so damn quickly, it's hardly even worth it. But that would have been the idea. My voice just cracked. That's embarrassing. So yeah, we basically just DPS rush the boss. Now it's dead. Hooray! Treasure coffer. You choose the one for your group. And I can't... Well, I mean, I could use it, but I'm not. Anyway, take the shortcut. When I say I should use it, but I'm not, and what I mean by that is it's shit. So I'm not going to use it. There's a lot of running in the Crystal Tower. And half the group has split up. But that's fine. As long as they go to the right place for the actual boss fight. They're not. Motherfuckers. Well, of course they're not waiting. Asswipes. Alright, we need 4 people to stand here. 4 people. 4. They're not going to do it. Basically, I need to tank these ads. Every group needs at least 4 people to stand on these glowing platforms so that the other groups can kill these Atamos things back here. And I understand that most of this stuff can be tank and spanked. I'm not ignorant to that fact. Shut up, phone. Oh look, our Atamos is already dead because we were doing the right fucking thing. Also, if at least 4 people aren't standing on this, then an Iron Giant will spawn and cleave your entire group, and you will then die. Look at these idiots. I'm glad at least some people know what they're doing. That took way longer than it should have. None of the groups stayed together. Nobody was coordinating. And if the mechanics had actually mattered more than they did, everybody would have died. I almost guarantee it. Anyway, this guy. I don't really remember what to do with this guy. Oh, yeah. I'm in Alliance A, which means I will be tanking him. Stay back. So basically, you get it. Each group gets a debuff, and they get it one group at a time. If you're fated, like I am right now, then you can damage the boss. If you're not, then you can't, and you have to kill ads. Now ideally, once this debuff fades off of me, somebody from the next group to get the debuff will then grab the boss. But judging from the way this group is being right now, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Also, there's an idiot doing something, taking aggro from me, and he's not in my group. Okay, I no longer have the debuff, I should start taking ads. Well, that was quick. What's the loot? Nothing I can use. Alright, one more boss, and this one's pretty simple too. Soon as we get through this ridiculously long walk, I'll explain it. Oh no, wait. I forgot there's another boss between this one and the last one. Basically, I should probably go to my actual group. Kind of think of it. Oh, or not. Maybe I'll tank this one. Why not? Right? Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Here. All of these bombs need to die, because if they reach the center bomb, they'll explode. And if they explode, we die. Especially those, the fucking napalms. Those really need to die, so the DPS need to not be snoozing. The DPS are snoozing. Wow, I'm gonna throw Sheltron up. I'm not getting healed. I'm gonna throw Sheltron up again. This entire group is one massive bruh moment. Alright. Let's kill the bomb before the DPS, you know, get bored. Oh wait, we can't because the other thing isn't dead yet. Now it is, and the bomb goes down like a cheerleader on prom night. Was that joke in poor taste? Yes. Do I care? No. Oh hey, King Behemoth. I don't really remember much about this fight either, to be honest. I just know that he spawns Iron Giants. And comets. He also spawns comets that need to be protected. How about we take you over here, Mr. Iron Giant? Oh shit, I done fucked up. I didn't realize he was doing it. Uh-huh. Alright, so he's standing up again, which means get behind a comet. That's the exact thing that I didn't realize he was doing before. Namely because he goes through phases so damn quick that he just does it over and over again. Alright. So that's a thing. And I'm sure the rest of the group is completely keen to wait until I've watched this cutscene. And if they're not, I really don't give a rat's ass. Oh yeah, they're already there. So anyway, that's a thing that we have to fight. And now... Oh, I move immediately to the next area? Yes. Yes, I'd love to. This guy... Eventually, he's gonna cast really bad ability. If you don't get into that if you don't get out of that really bad ability and stand on your platform, he wipes the whole group. The flames being retreated from that area are a pretty good indication that he's about to use Ancient Flare. Now, if people aren't stupid, we won't die. Oh good, people aren't that stupid. Hello, Iron Giant. And I'm sure he's not going to have another chance to cast that ability. So we missed more than half the fight, which is perfectly fine by me, to be honest. Because while I enjoy the Crystal Tower's story, some of the fights are annoying. I mean, he's about to die. We don't even need to run. Hooray, he's dead. And most people have left already, so we'll just give our healer some commendations, and that's a cute hat, but I can't use it. That's a piece of armor. What's it look like? I can't use it, but that's whatever. And we'll pass on the rest of this stuff. Where's the way out? Ah, there it is. Perfect. Oh there, Foxy. Very impressive, I must say. Your name shall be writ large in the volumes that are sure to be penned on this historic expedition. The scale of this structure defies comprehension. Someone plainly thought bigger was better. According to the findings of my Baldessian colleagues, the Crystal Tower was constructed to store and collect an endless energy of the sun. A characteristically ambitious undertaking. Now, what are the tower's inner defenses? Judging by your haggard expression, clearing out the labyrinth was no small feat. How can you tell I look haggard? I've got a helmet on. A giant of a man wielding a shimmering scimitar, you say? Yes, that will have been Phlegethon. Not Acheron, Phlegethon. He was a hero of the Allagan Revolution. And you glean that from what exactly? His choice of weapon? Well, I am a historian, and I have a certain, shall we say, affinity for the lore of the Allagan Empire. It is, of course, all knowledge gleaned from the musty scrolls and tomes. The ancient texts claimed that the Crystal Tower is defended by the champions of Eld, resurrected and augmented through the Allagan's extraordinary technology. Chief, you need to see this. Well, there it is. The foot of the tower. What surprises do you have in store for us, I wonder? I can't tell you how glad I am to have you with us on this little jaunt, old friend. Had you not beaten a path through that maze, I very much doubt we'd be standing here now. Well, we have much to discuss and digest. Let us retire to St. Coinoc's Find for the present, and there plan our next step. Lest there be any doubt, our expedition has some way to go yet. Yeah, mind the magma. And we're back with much and more to tell. Rambros. What the fuck was that? Ah, Grahatia. So good of you to join us, Foxy. Our meeting would be dull indeed without a full account of your experiences in the labyrinth. Take a moment to collect yourself, and when you're ready, we shall debate how best to proceed. Well, let's chat. The Fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is time this assembly was called to order. Rambros will be presiding over the meeting, if you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. What else do you have to say? I have studied the legacy of the Allagan Empire for long years. Now that this expedition is at last underway, the very core of my historical infatuation lies within my grasp. It falls to us, the Fellowship of Noah, to crack open the tomb of a fallen civilization and bring the wealth of its history out of the shadows and into the light. Indeed. Welcome back, Foxy. I have just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I have added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling the Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. Sure, what have we got here? Tenacity is a definite want. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses, before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Foxy's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allagan technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth, it has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us. It's like you said, Chief. We founded the Ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons, and that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. Oh, pout. As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Foxy. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during this coming pause. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allagan Empire. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the tasks at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Ah, who's that? Why, he's familiar, isn't he? Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Allagan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. I believed the fates had conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. And so long my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me. You didn't think that was the last we'd see of Nero, did you? And, on that rather foreboding note, I'm gonna leave it off here. My name is Foxy Games. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode as we continue to press further into the Crystal Tower. But until then, get your Chocobo's ass out of my face. Bye.